A seismic, undeniable, and bone-chilling transformation is currently tearing through the highest ranks of the women's professional tennis circuit. If your eyes aren't glued to the screen right now, you'll blink and miss the exact second a world-class phenom officially seizes total control of the entire tour. You've arrived at Sort Pro, the web's ultimate authority for the cold, hard, and brutally honest reality behind the cutthroat world and physical science of pro tennis. We're currently capturing a total structural upheaval. This isn't your average opening round. This is a cold, calculated, and perfectly tuned mental and physical invasion. The 2026 Upper Austria Ladies Linz Open is marking its historic 35th year, and the organizers have implemented a shocking, first-of-its-kind structural overhaul. They demolished the old hard courts, dumping exactly 100 tons of crushed brick into the city's design hub to flip the script entirely. Walking straight into that fresh crimson dust is the pride of the Philippines, Alex Eala. Entering this bracket as the formidable 6th seed, she prepares to dismantle the 29-year-old Austrian local favorite, Julia Grabher. Mainstream sports outlets see a young kid drowning in a hostile home crowd. But if you dissect the high-level data, the recent energy and the sheer, unstoppable physical path of these two athletes tell a vastly different story. We are officially calling a clinical, dominant, and lightning-fast win for Alex Eala. We're about to explain why that hometown energy will buckle and break. Observe as Eala systematically shreds Grabher's backline play, turning this match into a terrifying signal of intent for the European clay season. Strap yourselves in, smash that subscribe button, and let's pull apart the tactical blueprint of a new dynasty. To grasp the sheer, staggering level of the tennis demolition we're about to witness in Linz, you must look at the savage momentum Alex Eala is dragging right into the heart of this draw. The usual story with young stars is that they can't stay consistent. They win a couple of big ones, then crumble under the suffocating weight of the pro circuit. But Alex Eala has violently torched that script over the last 2 months, charging headlong through the Sunshine Double. That's the most exhausting, high-stakes, and physically draining hard-court run outside the majors, where she pulled off consecutive, shocking Sweet 16 finishes in both Indian Wells and Miami. She didn't just hang in there, she flat-out bullied elite veterans right off the court. She's proven she's a card-carrying member of the most exclusive circle in the sport. Yet, here's the truly chilling part for the rest of the players. Hard courts aren't even her peak environment. Moving back to European clay is essentially Eala returning to her spiritual home. Remember where this girl was built. She spent years grinding and sweating at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca. She was practically manufactured on red dirt by the finest tactical minds the surface has ever produced. She possesses a deep, intuitive grasp of the punishing, dark arts of clay play that far exceeds veterans who have been out there 10 years longer. She knows how to manipulate a rally, using heavy, biting topspin to shove her rivals completely out of the frame, and weaponizing her slide to flip desperate defense into a lethal point-ending strike. For Eala to leave a career-best hard-court run and land on her favorite surface is a total horror show for whoever's across the net. Nevertheless, Julia Grabher is the one standing in the gap, and we have to respect the complex mental game she's bringing. Grabher is a battle-hardened 29-year-old pro. She's lived through the brutal grind of the tour, fighting her way to 54 in the world back in 2023, and currently holding at 87. Critically, she's an Austrian. This match is happening literally in her own backyard. The organizers specifically raised this massive 30,000-seat arena in Linz to fill it with screaming locals, hoping to push their girl toward a giant upset. In this sport, facing the home court favorite is an incredibly tight, breathless experience. Every single mistake you make is greeted with a wall of thunderous, mocking cheers. Every point the opposition claims is treated as if it were a championship-deciding moment. This cutthroat and merciless setting is engineered specifically to shatter the psyche of less experienced competitors. Julia intends to ride that surging wave of local emotion to her advantage. She is a tenacious, defense-first specialist who recently labored through lower-tier Turkish events just to sharpen her edge for this. Realizing she cannot outmuscle her rival in a baseline shootout, her strategy hinges on extending rallies and mixing in maddening variety, neutralizing power, while hoping the thunderous Austrian supporters can successfully goad the young Philippine star into a mental meltdown. However, the cold truth of the modern game is that elite technique and sheer physical gift eventually muffle any hostile crowd. This is precisely where we anticipate the total methodical demolition of Julia's game will begin. Analyzing the strategy, Her primary asset is her stubborn refusal to lose a point in a long exchange, but she is facing a rival with much heavier artillery. Alex does not just strike the ball, she punishes it. In the dirt, you cannot simply guide those heavy left-handed drives back to the middle and expect to survive. Her forehand generates a terrifying amount of topspin, a signature result of that intense Nadal Academy training. When that ball strikes the clay, it will kick up violently, forcing her opponent to defend from above her comfort zone. This creates a devastating physical disadvantage. Julia will likely be pinned 4 meters behind the baseline, scrambling horizontally just to keep the ball in play. The moment a ball lands shallow, Alex will step forward and deliver a lethal, pinpoint winner down the line. This will not be a balanced struggle. It will be a precise and calculated athletic dismantling. The local fans might start the match with intense, aggressive, and hostile energy. However, we expect that before 5 games are even in the books, her overwhelming pressure will have sucked the spirit right out of the building. The silence will be haunting once they realize their local hope is being outclassed by a generational talent. This victory is about more than just the next round. It is a loud warning to the entire tour. She currently holds the 6th seed in this competitive 28-player field. She is no longer just a teenager with a nice story. She is a genuine threat. She stands now as an undeniable contender to take home the entire trophy. The stakes are massive because the dangerous and unpredictable 4th seed, Jelena Ostapenko, is waiting in the shadows. You only earn a shot at a major champion like her by efficiently removing opponents like Julia from your path. The young star knows exactly what this moment means. She understands that a deep run on European soil following her American success will cement her place among the elite. She will not let a veteran player or a loud stadium ruin her destiny. She is ready to stride onto that indoor clay surface. She will tune out the noise and put on a fierce, aggressive clinic in modern clay court tennis. We are calling it now. We expect a dominant, straight sets victory that leaves no room for doubt. She will take control of the match from the very first serve. She will silence the fans and move toward a massive showdown with Jelena Ostapenko. The time for waiting for her potential to bloom is officially over. The era of her relentless execution has arrived, leaving Julia as the very first victim of this clay court campaign. Now, I am turning this analytical debate over to the most dedicated fans in the sport. Can the local Austrian support actually rattle the mental focus of the Philippine star? Or will she deliver the dominant performance we are forecasting? If she moves on, can she truly match the power of a major winner like Jelena in round 2? I am eager for your most thorough thoughts. Drop your rawest strategic bombs in the comments right this second. Demolish that like button so this vital analysis can rip through the algorithm. Lock in your CRT Pro access and hammer that notification bell to stay wired into our high-octane investigations of real WTA power plays. Clay warfare has officially been unleashed. Everything is on the line and we are capturing every brutal victory right here. Catch you in the next.